In this video, I'll be teaching you the game Name That Number. The easier variation of this game can be played by students as young as first grade, while the more challenging version can have rounds that even puzzle adults. For young students, all you'll need is a deck of cards, but for more challenging versions, you'll also want scrap paper and something to write with. This game is generally played by 2 to 4 players, but I'll also go over how you can play against yourself. For younger students, you may want to introduce the game using only cards ace through 10, but for older students, you can use the face cards. Keep in mind that Jack will equal 11, Queen 12, and King 13. Ace will be 1. To begin playing, deal out 5 cards in a row, and then a 6th card at the top. This 6th card will be the target number. The goal of the game is to use these 5 cards to make the target number. For example, I could say 4 plus 4 equals 8, or 1 plus 7 equals 8. If you're playing with 2 or more players, the winner of the game will be the person with the most cards at the end. Plus 4 would be a good way to make 8. An even better way to make 8 would be doing 7 plus 2, which is 9, take away 1, which is also 8. Or, if I really want a lot of cards, I could write this equation. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 4 is 13, minus 4 is back to 9, minus 1 is 8. This would allow me to take all of the cards on the board. So let's say player 1 used that equation using all of the cards. They would take all 5 of these cards plus the target number since they were able to equal it. And we would redeal all of the spots. Now we're trying to use these cards to make the target number of 1. Keep in mind that you can't use a card more than once. So if there are 2 6s, you can use 6 twice, but you couldn't use it 3 times. Some students may see that the target number is 1 and want to say, well, 12 minus 11 is 1, but that would be using this 6 more than once. Let's say player 2 makes the target number of 1 by doing 6 plus 5 is 11 minus 10, which is 1. They would take these 3 cards plus the target number since they made it, and you would just replace the other cards. So far, we've made our target number by using just addition and subtraction. However, students in 3rd grade and up can also make the target number using operations like multiplication and division. For example, to make 11, I might do 5 times 4, which is 20, minus 9 to make 11. I always like to challenge myself as much as possible, and so I always try to use all 5 cards to make every target number. And oftentimes you can. For example, I could do 4 times 5 minus 9 times, in parentheses, 2 minus 1. This is a good time with older students to teach them about order of operations and even parentheses. If a player gets really stuck and can't make the target number for their round, the next player can decide whether they want to keep the target number and try to make it themselves, or if they want to flip the next card and try for a new target number. If you're playing by yourself, you might decide to have the goal of your game be to figure out how many rounds it takes you to clear the deck. You're trying to go for as few as possible because that would mean you're using more cards each time. Or if you really want a challenge, see how many rounds you can do where you use all 5 cards to make that target number.